Previously on Dookie Forge. I totally did some designs and then I did some more designs and then I bought a cart. And then I bought some wheels and I attached them. And then I attached the first framing pieces and I got some tools like hammers and vices and anvils. I got all the anvils. I made some parts. I crafted a vice swinging arm, and then I made an anvil swinging arm, because you can't have one without the other. And then I mixed up some Dookie, and I spread that Dookie all over the Devil Forge's face. I did some cutting, I did some chaining. I hit some stuff like boom, bang, bang, boom. I drilled a bunch. I attached things to other things. I made it some brackets, and boom, out of nowhere, a pegboard. And here we are with some more brackets. Now you're up to date with the things that happened before the time that you're watching the thing. I went ahead off camera and did some measuring. And after I turn off the camera this time, I'm going to remeasure everything, because this one I'd say is probably more important to get kind of even. But what I have here is the middle of the cart, and then these lines should be where the little fin feet are centered on the cart. And I'm debating whether or not to move it further this way or further back. I'm still kind of fiddling with it, but essentially it'll be in line with those, whether it's in whatever direction. But the idea is those will go there, these will go here. Now I have to figure out how to get these things spaced right. And I was thinking I could bolt them onto the forge, then position the forge on the lines, and then mark these holes. But I think, because I'm not very smart, I think that these holes, which it's hard to see in this light, but essentially these holes, there's a hole right there and a hole right there, will end up under the forge. So I won't be able to mark the hole while it's actually attached to the forge itself. If I was a smart man, I would have drilled these holes further out so that they would be outside of the edge of the forge, and then I could actually mark where the holes need to be. Well, 16 days later, I finally did measurements after measurements, and I still probably got it wrong. But this one I definitely got wrong. As you can see, there's two sets of holes. I guess the leftmost side holes in line is the actual measurements. But those should be where the brackets are actually placed and holes are drilled. What I ended up doing, I didn't really have anything to exactly be the same space or same thickness as the feet here. So what I did was I got something as close as I could, which was a stack of these three small washers, and it's pretty dang close. So between the slop in the holes and, you know, keeping these maybe looser while I put the forge in before I tighten them, it should have enough wiggle room to give the little extra or less that the fins of the forge are than the actual spacing. So with a little bit of slop and everything, it should all work. Fingers crossed. here comes the moment of truth, as they say. So I guess I'm going to get the bolts over here. I guess I'm going to place the vertical bolts first, just to place them. There she is, fully mounted. I'm just it's been so long, like I said before, that I've been kind of thinking about this, and it's literally been almost a year. Not since I've started building, but since I've come up with the idea, and this isn't the last step, the forge being, attached, but it's kind of a huge milestone. It's pretty cool. And that makes the primary important parts of the design done. I have the forge. I have the tool holder, the initial pegboard. I have the anvil. I have the anvil and the anvil leg, of course, and I have the vise and the vise leg. There's a lot more that I'm going to be adding to the cart, and there's still more I have to do to finish this guy up. I have to finish putting all the stuff on the forge, and underneath I have to do some sort of propane tank holder and a few other things, but this is the prime 4 items that make this thing a mobile forge. Pretty cool. It's crazy. I don't even know what to say. I'm so excited, so happy. You don't even understand. Get out of my room, Mom! Well, needless to say, I kind of at a loss for words, actually. It's happy. over the moon, Alice. To the moon, Alice. And, you know, it's kind of crazy because I started this stupid idea, even thought about this stupid idea roughly like almost a year ago. And then I thought about it, did designs and thought about it, and then roughly 6 months ago-ish, 8 months ago, I pulled the trigger and started ordering things like the cart and other items, and it never really seemed like real until I actually finished mounting the forge. Even though I still have a lot to do, I still have plenty to do, to improve, to finish, to add to. I don't even know what to say to myself. I'm sitting here talking to myself, talking to you, talking to me, talking to you. And considering I'm new to this, never really built anything before. Obviously, blacksmithing, brand new too. Recording, I'm sure you can tell. I'm brand new to editing. I'm terrible at. And I don't even know if anybody's watching at this point. I don't even know what episode this is. I've just been working and recording, and I'll edit later. This will probably come out months after it's actually happened, or a month or two or something, because I'm still learning all this stuff. But this was kind of like a huge milestone, and I don't know. If you are watching, hopefully you appreciate the gravity of the situation. The devil has been mounted. And made love to. So, off camera, I took a little bit of time, cleaned up the cart a little bit. Just cleaned up a little bit. Things were getting kind of messy. I have the arms fastened and chain holding everything up, ready to be rolled around. The pegboard is looking good. And also off camera, I went ahead and finished up the forge. I messed up a little bit. After I painted it and I let it dry, I wasn't thinking about it, but I put the fire brick in after the initial coating of cement was already dry, which meant I essentially ripped off all the cement on the bottom section, which wouldn't be that big of an issue if it didn't break all the cement like halfway up. So you could probably see that there's color differences. That's extra cement that I bought to do touch-ups in the future, but I had to use it pretty soon because, or a little sooner than I wanted to, because I essentially ruined the forge before I even could use it. But it shouldn't be a big deal. Both the cements, though they have different color, they have the same temperature range, so hopefully they don't, or they work well together. I finished with the fire tube or whatever, getting that aligned. I filled the inside here with ceramic wool, and then I put some cement on top as well, just to keep the fibers locked in there, so I don't have to worry about them. I attached the propane hose as well as the regulator. Right there. Should be all good. And of course, put the handles on the doors, which will make it really nice. And then of course, I still have plenty of things to do on the cart to finish it, but right now I just temporarily, push this forward, I just temporarily have the propane bungee corded in across the top, and then one at the corner there just to keep the propane tank from sliding around and moving anywhere. And that'll work for now. Eventually I want to come up with something a little bit different. I'm bouncing around with a few ideas. I'm thinking of like figuring out some sort of like chainmail hammock type thing to set the propane tank in, and it's kind of like a chainmail bag or something that the propane tank sits in. Or something along those lines. We'll see. Next thing is, is to fire the forge. And obviously I can't do that inside. It's a little too dangerous, given my penthouse studio apartment. Wouldn't want to damage anything. So we're gonna have to take this thing out in the back alley, which might sound easy, except I'm on several tens, you know, double digits worth of floors high, and I only have roughly 2 inches of clearance on the sides to get through the building. And I haven't rolled this thing through the building yet with the arms attached. So I don't even know if I can get through my door and then not get stuck in the hallway, or if I will get stuck in the hallway because of the added length of the arms here. So I may or may not record the traveling through the building, because that might be really bad. We'll see. And we'll see what happens. All right, well, I'm all dressed up to go outside. I don't know how cold it is. I suppose I should have looked it up, but it's most likely well below freezing. And, well, you can either watch me make it outside or fail miserably. So either way, it should be pretty cool to watch. I'm going to try to roll backwards out of here. The first attempt, I'm just getting some things out of the way. Oh yeah, I have the wrench to tighten on the regulator, and of course, torch to start the forge. Might be a little dark, but all right. Sorry for the darkness. I will probably what I'm going to be doing right now is just setting up the propane tank and hopefully, well, lighting it on fire. Don't know how much you can see, probably not enough, but here we go. So, I don't know how well you can hear me, but essentially I disconnected the bungee cord for the propane tank, and I'm tightening on the regulator right now. Of course, in this footage you probably can't see anything. But I did make it outside. All right, so this thing is tight. Don't know how well you can see that, but it's tightened on. Next thing is I'm going to leave this off so that I'm going to listen. I'm going to open the propane, and then I'm just going to listen and see where this regulator needs to turn to. So let's open this guy, and I'm going to listen for any leaks. All right. I don't smell any propane. It's fully open, so I'm tightening the regulator here, seeing how much pressure. There we go. All right, so there's pressure in the hose. I'm just going to, before I put full pressure in, I'm just going to sniff around and make sure there's no leaks, like at the hose clamp area and stuff. Just sniffing some stuff. No, I don't smell any propane leaking. So let's at 1. So if I were to turn this all the way up, 3, 4, 5, I'm guessing that's maximum. So I'm just going to turn this back to a little ways, and then essentially turn on the torch. So that, which way is this on? Turn on the torch. I'm gonna get the torch in there. And then I'm gonna open the valve. So I don't know how well we'll be able to see. Whew. Well, my battery died on the way back up, so I didn't get to film getting back into the apartment, which, as you might have known or guessed, it's much more difficult. Specifically at my door, because there's a big door closer at the top, and it's pretty powerful, and the door just kept shutting, and so I had to bungee open the door to the other door because I don't have a door stop, and it gets in the way of the wheels. Blah, 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 blah. I'm tuckered out, but I made it down there, fired up the forge. Don't know how well the footage came out because it was really dark. I'll do my best, and I don't know how well the audio came out, so I might have had to do a voiceover. I don't know yet. But the forge fired up. I think it fired up well. The regulator, I'm going to have to do some research and see, because I had I guess the gas flow set between 1 and 2, and it seemed like a lot. Obviously, I could go all the way up to 6, and I don't know MPa. I don't know what value that is, but and it seemed to heat up. It got red hot inside. I didn't smell excess propane, so it seemed to be burning clean. I'm going to have to do some research and make sure everything is good. Let me just push this thing in a little bit. Of course, while I was out there, it started snowing and it's getting more icy. So it's, I can't go out to the park yet because of snow and ice and all that stuff. But I'm back. I'm back. And it worked. It worked. I got into the elevator, as you can see, barely. Next time I go out, and hopefully out to the park, I'm going to film a little bit better, hopefully, and like actually show how much room I have in the elevator. There's no room. Like, I'm up against the door when this thing's in there, so it's pretty tight. I don't look forward to the point where the elevator's going down and then somebody else, is waiting for the elevator. It opens and all they see is my back and a cart filling up the elevator. Anyway, I am super pleased. I got this thing up red hot for about 5 minutes. There's still a little bit of residual heat. I was sitting out there for, I don't know, a good 20, 25 minutes, letting it cool down. There's still some heat in it, but not red anymore. And I was just looking at the doors and the cement and everything. Those cracks were already there. Some of them might be a little bit bigger, so I might go through and do some touch-ups at some point, but everything inside actually looks much better than anything else. And there's some like weird red speckle stuff. I'm guessing that's coming out of I think it's rust or something being blown out of the inside of the torch tube. I don't know if you can see that, but right in there, there's like a red speckle pattern. I wonder what that is. Yeah, you can see it a little bit better right there. It's like little polka dots, little red polka dots. And of course, in the center, there is some residual stuff, and it's got to be from the inside of the torch tube. There must have just been some stuff in there. Maybe from packaging and shipping or something like that. But still plenty hot. And I'm just going to leave this thing closed. And I think that brings this episode to an end, whatever episode this is. Hopefully the next episode should be kind of a big one. Weather permitting, next time should be rolling out to the park and actually trying to blacksmith something. We're kind of nervous, kind of excited. It's gonna be, it's gonna be a wild time. So, I'll leave you with this week's quote of the week. Hey, who's that Quotamon?
Hey, oh, it's me, Alec Baldwin, the world's best actor, actress, dog. Anything you can imagine, I am the best. You might know me from such masterpieces as Team America, World Police, one of my best showings if I do say so myself. And I do, so I would know. Anyway, I'm here to deliver one of the most important things you will ever hear in your entire life, and that is the quote of the week. Here it is. Remember, best actor you've ever seen, coming from the best actor. Quote of the week, the best actor. Okay. All right, best actor. Ready and go. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. That is an amazing quote. I wonder who it's from. All I've got to say is I take all the shots I ever need, ever want, that ever get in front of me. I shoot and I never miss. I never miss because I'm Alec Baldwin, best actor, actress, doggy, kebabi, even a window screen. I'll stop those bugs. I'm the best. Alright. Have a good day now.